and say we can permit to have a casual kind of relationship or platonic kind of relationship from 18 years, because relationship is so deep. It's deeper than what the youth of today, the concept of what they have today is not. It's deeper than that, because it's about knowing each other. It's about growing with each other. It's about understanding each other. It's about empowering each other mentally. There's so much to it. While we were growing up, I still count myself lucky as one of the few that is in between two generations. Because yes, we were growing up in the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s. What we knew about while we were growing up, our uncles and aunties, the kind of relationships they had, it was something that we all learned from. And when we were of that age, the way our relationships were, at that teenage level, it was quite different. It's quite different from what we're seeing now. So I can tell a lot of difference from then and now.
Let me clarify. Because when we say something is different, people don't really get the fact that we're talking from experience. So let's begin by what makes it different. Your first girlfriend.
Okay.
How did you communicate?
Okay. It starts by showing interest.
No. I'm even saying, let's assume that the relationship has started. Now you want to communicate with her, like you want to send message to her, something. How do you communicate?
Don't forget that while we're growing up, you don't just walk up to a stranger and ask her out.
No.
We are all living in the same community environment. Not too far away. We were always too closer, either by education or by church or something. So something must bring you guys together.
In close proximity.
The difference I mentioned earlier from then and now is that when you ask a girl out while we're growing up, the girl will tell you, I'll think about it. And thinking about it, you have to go back time after time
to go and ask, pester, pester, talk about it. Buy Bolly, take it to her.
Take a walk. Then we used to respect ladies so much, because it takes time for you to get a yes, even if you eventually get a yes, because the moral standards were so high. Some parents will even you don't dare talk about relationship in your house. So it's something you hide, and those moments were so interesting because most times I think about the advantages of dating then. Almost all the guys learned how to write a letter.
Now you get the point outside the make. Because
you have to write
because I had to ask a question. I said, how do you communicate? Today's young man is in a relationship with a girl. He cannot write a text message of 160 characters to communicate with the girl.
Exactly.
Yesterday's young man, your age group, mine, the people a little bit below us, were able to write, and our uncles and aunties, and the people above us were writing letters. As a teenager, I had envelope, file of letters. The ones that when you want to cry in the night, the letters, you can't read it during the day. It is when your parents have gone to bed at night, you have done family prayer, everybody has gone to sleep, you will now sneak back to your school bag. You now open your assignment book. You now bring it out of where you folded it. Then you now stay on your bed, especially in the days of lantern. In the days of lantern, the lantern will be on the stool. You will put the letter very close and you now be peeping to read it, so that even your sister that is on the next bed will not know that you are reading something, because if she sees you reading something, she will tell mommy or daddy, and then you're in trouble.
So there were so many advantages when it comes to dating then, because the guys were pushed to learn how to spell, to learn how to write.
True.
To learn how
and if you don't know how to write good English,
you cannot get a smart and intelligent girl then. So it's only the smart guys.
You won't even toast a smart and intelligent.
Exactly, because
only today.
You won't want to disgrace yourself. So today, I don't know how and where we lost it. You understand?
All the intelligent girls have been toasted.
Then Tomisin, while we're growing up, it's like a taboo for a girl to ask a guy out. As in, it is one out of 100.
Let me give you all the titles. She's loose. She's a flirt. She's cheap. Even your sisters, even your friends who are girls, will excommunicate you because you did.
Exactly.
How dare you say you like a guy? You will send his friend, who is the boyfriend of another girl, who is your friend, to tell you who the guy is. To tell the guy that girl likes you. And then you wait patiently until the day the guy catches up. If he doesn't catch up, yours truly, you move on.
It takes a process. But these days, you meet a girl. I see a lot of things out there. I don't want to be that old sentimental man that wants to compare ages or want to compare times. You understand? You meet a girl today and you guys are talking. To them, they think it's an advantage that the world has really moved on. It's a free world. You don't have to hide your feelings. You just have to express them. But somehow it falls back on the woman or the lady, because once a man sees that you're cheap, it sends a kind of wrong signal. So sometimes I wish I could just gather girls, teenage girls, young girls in a hall and just talk to them. Their dignity is at stake. Look at what is going on all over Nigeria. Check the internet. Look at how girls are being abused, are being used for rituals. It's because a lot of them don't set standards for who they are or what they stand for. You understand? And the decadence is getting higher. I wish I could gather girls, talk to them, and let them know that there
is more value to
yes, let them portray value in whomever they talk to, in their daily dealings, whatever, wherever, in office space, in church. Let them carry themselves with so much esteem, because I don't know, losing respect for women, it doesn't have to go this low.
True.
It doesn't have to go this low. I met this girl. We were talking about some years ago, and this girl, she's so pretty, and I was asking, I saw a guy with you last week, and that guy is not, forgive me, that guy doesn't really meet up to your standard. She now said, what, Buki, when I got into Usu, I came in with the orientation of not being cheap. Let me go through the normal procedure. Any guy is asking me out, let me think about it, let me understudy the guy and the likes. You understand? And that she noticed that whenever a guy comes to her and she says no, or I'll think about it, the guy walks up to another girl that is more beautiful than she is, and they start dating almost immediately. That she at some point she had to readjust herself and just go with the flow. I think that was where everything started nosediving.
So basically, she lost the value for herself somewhere in the middle because she wanted to not lose out. Exactly.
So a lot of girls have that opinion that think back from another person if I don't agree for him, or if I don't decide to date him, somebody else that is better will date him.
But how do you measure that somebody is better than you as a girl? When you say complex, I think most women have a complex. Yes, forget men, that men do have complex. But I think most women do have complex. And it's because mostly, apart from bullying, because we measure ourselves against our peers. So, yes, another girl is saying yes all the time. It goes to the next girl, they start dating almost immediately. Where did the idea of that girl is cheap run away to, that it now begins to look to you like I am losing out? What happened to that thought process?
Yes, Tomisin, whether we like it or not.
Or is it because more ladies are
that
single
aside,
today?
No, that aside, I will definitely come to that. But let me be frank with you, Tomisin. If you check the mental strength of a lot of women in our society today, this thing we call inferiority complex has become a canker one that has eaten deep into so many girls that It takes 1 out of 10 girls to be mentally strong and say, this is who I am, this is what I will do.
And this is my identity, I don't intend to lose it.
You understand? Because I've met a girl that I once asked her, like, this your wig that you put on. Do you know that when you do natural weave on and all these things, Ghana weaving, that you look finer? She said she was in the gathering of some girls, and they said, it's only a girl that doesn't have money that can't make her hair. Look at the sentiment. Look at the general thought. Like, when you can't make your hair, when you're plaiting, plait your hair, it
It's
means
because
you don't have money.
Trust me, you spend more money. 2021, I dedicated the whole of 2020 after the lockdown into I mean, I spent a year. I think about September 2020 to September 2021. I spent it making my hair, and I made up my mind I was going to make my hair every single time. Now I have a problem. I cannot do more than 2 weeks. As in, whatever is on my head, 10 days, and it has to come off. Once it's 12 days, I'm like itchy. Once it's 14 days, I just have to get it off. So, which meant I was going to the salon. So, which one is better for you? No, but hold on. Means I was going to the salon like every other week.
Okay.
So, during that period, I wear a natural hair. I wash, steam, make. I spend between 5,000 and 7,000 naira.
Just normal.
So, and you know, because I come on air, I'm not going to do a design of 500 naira. I'm definitely going to buy attachment. So if I buy 2 attachments to make my hair, I'm buying attachment of maybe 1,200 too. That's 2,400. They'll make the hair for about 2,000 naira. Wash and dry. Lose the last one. So by the time you mount it up,
so it are you trying to say that the wig is more economical?
No, I now tell you. So I now did a calculation, and it was intentional. I did a calculation of how much I was spending. So I kept tabs. So when I do my hair, I don't pay. I go back home. I look at it. So when I transfer to the girl, I have tags on my account to say, and then I did a calculation. I went back to my wigs, took them back to the same girl. She managed them, washed, styled, and then I brought them back home. But they were idle. I started giving her my wigs because I was making hair. Lo and behold, I calculated at the end of 6 months, and I said, are you kidding me?
You're spending more.
So the reason why those girls who think the reason you're not making your hair, you're making your hair is because you have more money than the people wearing wig. Let me tell you why. They buy wig of 100,000. They have payment plan. Sometimes to pay 3 times. Yes, they have payment plan to pay 3 times. Not all of them pay once. Don't mind them. They have payment plan to pay 3 times. And you see, all they need to do is make 500 naira DD underneath of the wig. So imagine that they've bought 5 over time. Maybe one of 30, one of 50, one of 60, one of 100, so they can manage. So you keep seeing them restyle the hair, recolor the hair. They didn't change the wig. They went to restyle and recolor. Meanwhile, you are spending your 5,000 naira regularly, maybe 10,000 every month on you spend more.
So you've proven the point there.
So every lady that is making her hair, you actually do spend. I tell you, I cut my hair before. I know what it's like.
Have you been on dreads before?
That one I can't do. I'm still psyching myself to get to that point. But I had to cut my hair at one point. I went straight on a low cut. And I said, I'm not spending this much money again. Kilo day. Then the hair on my head right now is just about 2 years old. And it's all natural. It's even worse when you wear natural hair. Because if you wear natural hair, you have to manage it. The products to style, the products to keep it healthy is more expensive than going to permed hair. But the beauty of wearing natural hair is I can wash my hair this morning and dry it with my towel and come out. My hair would never smell. But if I perm my hair and I come out and it's not dry and it's wet, it smells. You see the difference? So everything has an advantage. But we're talking about relationships this morning.
Tomisin has given you guys clue on...
I've tried all. That's the thing. Okay. I think dress is the only thing I've not tried.
Okay.
Wig, Didi, Ghana weaving, braids. I've tried all. Cut my hair, uncut it.
But what I'm trying to say in essence is that the pressure is more on the present day girl in the world.
True, because
a lot is going out.
A
lot is going on out there. Sometimes I pity a lot of ladies because the society is putting more. There's a difference between the society putting pressure on you and you allowing the society to put pressure on you. I know what a lot of girls can do to get iPhone. Let me not go there. You understand? But all those things are societal pressure. I must have it to feel among.
Pookie there's part 2.
Don't talk I must about have that kind of phone to feel among. So society.
Do you use an iPhone?
I don't.
I use an iPhone, so maybe I don't count, but I work with it. But how many of your friends use iPhones?
Most of my friends that use iPhone, they come back to me to complain that this iPhone.
Their data is always on.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't understand. So what?
They don't know how to manage it. That's why.
They have to recharge their phone every 3 days. Like, okay.
Okay, so let's talk about this. How early should one start a relationship? In our mother's days, they started real early, like like 13, 14?
No, like 14, 15.
14, 15.
Because most of them they got married at the age of 18, 17. My mom told me that when her elder sister was 25 and wasn't married, that the whole family were worried. They were going everywhere for 25. Now we have 35 that is not even. So times are changing.
So what is it?
So times are changing. But I would advise that if you are the type that wants to go to continue your formal education, I think you should be in your 100 level or 200 level before you can consider, because at that time you're not under your parents. You should be able to manage your time. That's when you know if you are mature enough to start one.
All right, you can call us this morning and join the conversation. 08064738133 is the topic, is the number to call. Pardon me, and we're talking about how early your child or you are willing to have a boyfriend or a girlfriend. Our first caller for this morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right, please, when you call us, turn down the volume of your TV set, first of all, before you call. You turn down the volume of your TV set. You're going to speak to us through your telephone and not through your television. All right. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Your name and where you're calling from?
I'm calling from Lekki. My name is Shola David.
Shola David.
Yeah.
All right, so how early should a relationship start?
Yeah, because I've been trying to get you before, you were talking about how cheap girls were dating in the past and all that. And I felt that, I think it's wrong. I think you are contradicting, both of you and your guests, you are contradicting yourself.
How do you mean?
Because I feel that the girls are still the whooping people of the society, and it's wrong. For me, I don't see anything wrong in a girl showing her emotions. We are all human beings, and we have emotions given by God. And what is wrong in expressing it? So if we say that a girl is cheap, or we say a girl as cheap for approaching a man, then a man also to be seen as cheap for approaching a girl.
No.
What is good for the gander is good for the what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
But we're talking about it in the past. We said in the past.
Yeah, but
in the past.
But the gentleman was saying that he feels that he could get the ladies together.
No, but times have changed. We acknowledge that part. We said in the past. When we were in secondary school, it is not something you go directly to say in the 80s and the 90s and the 70s that I like this guy. You don't tell him directly. We described that you go through maybe your friend or his friend. Exactly.
My bad.
Yes.
But another thing, okay.
All right. Thank you very much, sir.
Another thing I wanted to say, please, is that the gentleman. Hello.
Yes, we're with you.
That the gentleman was talking about rituals and said that it was against attitude.
No.
No.
We never said that.
They're not getting us. They're not getting us right.
But you name the ritualists. They are detestable human beings who shouldn't be living in the society, just like a rapist.
Yes.
And those two girls, they are animals.
Yes.
And they are the ones that should be cautioned, not
Yes.
the girls. Yeah, the girls have their fault. I know that. But those are. See, the problem with us is that we still see it as a man's world. And any small thing, we blame the woman. The woman is raped, because she dressed one sort of a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. But even when you look at our culture, we need to change these things, and it's very unfair how we treat our women.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. I need to take some other calls. But Buki, I want you to quickly react before I take those ones.
Okay. The young man didn't actually get what we were saying. I'm not blaming ladies outrightly. I just paraphrase that a lot of our ladies are falling victim because of how they are playing cheap to so many men these days. I just brushed that part. It's not that I was talking about.
And I did say we're going to delve into it properly next week. All right. So quite a number of ladies are, running after the he has money.
Exactly, because what will make you travel from a place like Anambra to Lagos to see somebody you've never met in your life just because you want? What
Why
are you
didn't he
coming?
come to you first?
Okay.
Maybe I don't know. It's just one of the
That
things
should be a topic for another day. Tomisin, we need to.
Who should visit first? Who should be? But I think what is good for the goose is good for the gander.
Just like the young man said. So that let's not be sentimental.
If he can visit you, then you can also visit. But who should visit first, ladies?
But I'm talking about the ones on the internet that have not seen themselves before.
Those who met on the internet. All right. Good morning. Please, before you call us, turn down the volume of your TV set if you really want us to take your messages or your phone call. All right. Let me take this message. Relationship should start, I think, at 200 level. Akim from K2. The man is contradicting himself. He also blamed. Okay. I think this was the guy that called earlier. Hello. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Adebukola.
Abayomi, where are you calling us from?
From Agege.
Agege, all right. So how early should a relationship start?
The relationship should start the age of maturity. What is the age of maturity? It's not even about the 100 level. What about somebody above 20 years that is in that stage of 200? The maturity that is very important. The exposure. Then I think these things should also start from parental care.
Okay. All right. Start with parental care. Volume down, please. Before you call, make sure your volume is down. This one said it should start with parental care at the level, at the age of maturity.
I like that. At the age of maturity. Yeah.
So you're the one that knows when you are really mature. And ready for such relationship. Okay. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Your name and where you calling from, sir?
Yeah, I'm Adebukola Olowoyeye calling from the government of the country.
Okay. You got you. Thank you so much.
I want to talk about how early should it start?
Okay.
Now, your colleague was talking about 14
No,
years old.
I said our mothers. Our mothers. I think they started 14, 15
Okay.
and got married like 17, 18.
Okay. And that is why there are problems many a times. If you look at the age that we are now, I want to believe the criteria for relationship and the marriage. There are certain things one needs to have. Level of maturity as that man from Adebukola from infancy to primary level, to secondary level, then before you go to another social world, that is a higher institution. For me, I want to believe all these things we acquire knowledge together, and all this knowledge that we acquire together makes up is wrong when we enter a relationship.
Okay.
So I want to believe minimum, if anyone wants to go into a relationship, to be at the age of 18.
Okay.
So you have finished your secondary school, they aspire to go to an institution.
Okay. Thank you very much. All right. I like this message because it was from our earlier caller, Shola David. He said relationship should start when the girl or guy is ready to settle. If it starts earlier, there will be temptation to engage in premarital sex, which is condemnable for the educated ones, I believe, after graduation.
Yes. What is said is not fine. It's a good advice, but most times I talk to a lot of couples and a lot of them regret not dating before they got married. You know when life hits you, when reality comes.
So
when reality comes.
So Bookie now, you want to put me in trouble. So Bookie, you want us to also.
I didn't have a boyfriend before I got married.
So you want us to talk about dating before marriage? How important?
It's very, very important because just like the last caller said, he said experiences. All those experiences
but not
put together.
Sexual experience?
Yeah, no. We shouldn't. You shouldn't encourage that. Okay. My mother got married at the age of 18.
That's quite
An 18-year-old lady back then was far mature than a 28-year-old lady in these days.
In perception.
Let me not say Okay, in perception, because
at that point it was just the ripe age.
They were
So
mature.
in perception.
They were mature. What happened to the fact that a lot of them didn't get divorced?
How did they measure maturity? Don't even talk about them getting divorced. Their own style of divorce is very different. Their own style is when the marriage is not whatever is happening, they will just go and marry another person. And the gap between one marriage and one marriage, okay, well, you just see that you have uncles who are from this daddy, this grandpa, and another uncle who is from this grandpa, but you have one grandma. Have you seen that situation before?
I know.
So what are we talking about?
The times of my grandfather, my grandmother.
It's our African society, because I don't understand that one.
You have uncles that are from different fathers, different
but
mothers.
The same grandma.
Yes,
so
exactly.
Have you asked them what exactly made that happen?
They were freestyling.
You see, there are conversations that when we have, I keep wondering, I say, oh, so when they say,
one woman, 3 husbands.
They say 3 husbands, but it's not 3 husbands. She left one husband.
Yeah, left one. Got married to this one.
Got married to the next one. Had children.
Had 2 years. Had 3 years. Had 1 year.
So at the end of the day, maybe one now died. She now married someone else, which was the one that was her final husband, and then she had 1 child for the person too. So at the end of the day, she has married 3 different people in the course of her life, and she has children with the 3 people. So you have 1 grandma, but you have 3 grandpas. Abi?
Yes.
Because all the uncles.
But Tomi, I want to ask you a question. How come? No, let me not digress. Let's take that. Let's take.
Bookie,
because a lot of questions are running through my head right now. A lot of questions
like through your head right now. Okay, so we're talking about relationships and we keep talking about it. Today is all about how early you should start. I think we've arrived at the conclusion that when you're mature enough for it and you're ready.
But these days, can we allow an 18-year-old girl get married?
Yeah, she's ready.